What's going on, everybody? You have Tone here, back with some more Draft League content. This time, bringing you guys Week 3 of Season 3 of the PBAL, where this week your Miami Malamarlins are taking on Ty, coach of the Fox Creek Banettes. And before I go any further, if you guys do enjoy the video, I would encourage you to leave a like, drop a comment, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. I also want to apologize for this video going out extremely late, because it should have been up a few weeks ago, but I had a couple of audio issues in regards to recording this game, and for the foreseeable future, unless I make playoffs or whatnot, I won't be doing any team builders just because I'm already late with this video as it is, and for the most part, I don't want to really give away any, sets per se in regards to EV spreads or whatnot to any potential opponents. If I do make playoffs and I have to play them again, they have an idea of how I build and whatnot. But nonetheless, on to the matchup. So like I said, I'm taking on Ty and his Fox Creek Banettes, his full team consisting of the Heatran, Circuitry, Shaman, Nidoking, Alomomola, Cryogonal, Mecha Alakazam, Mimikyu, Conkeldurr, Porygon 2, and the Drampa. So right away, he had a lot of very scary threats, mostly special attackers. Mecha Alakazam for sure was probably the biggest nuisance to my team because of the fact that while I did have stuff that resisted Psychic, Mega Alakazam and its abundance of coverage options against my team just smacks it around ridiculously hard. Especially with the combination of having a breaker like Circuitry and then other set of sweepers such as the Mimikyu in the back to take advantage of my Mons being weakened down by Mega Alakazam. And because of how ridiculously fast Mega Alakazam is against my team, it can easily run Modest Nature and still outspeed my Tapu Koko no problem. So with that being said though, I feel like the team I did build for this particular matchup did have a good idea, sense of pressuring his more faster threats, the Mega Alakazam in particular. And with that, I do have a game plan of trying to hazard stack my opponent, because he didn't really bring much in terms of removal unless he has Defog on the Drampa. He does not have any way of getting rid of hazards once I get them up. So the idea I had with this team is to try to hazard stack between the combination of my Swampert and my Ferrothorn, overwhelm him with my speed, particularly my Choice Scarf Greninja, and hopefully win in the end game with either my Buzzwole or my Necrozma. But just to quickly run down the sets I ended up bringing for this game, I have a specially defensive Rindoberry Swampert with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, I believe the last two moves was Ice Punch and Roar, if I'm not mistaken. I did play this game a while ago, so I remember the sets right off the top of my head. The Tapu Koko was Flying EMZ with Wild Charge, Brave Bird, U-Turn, and Nature's Madness for the Porygon 2. Flying EMZ was for the Shaman, which he did not end up bringing. Ferrothorn is also especially defensive with Spikes, Leech Seed, Knockoff, and Power Whip, if I'm not mistaken. Greninja is Choice Scarf, physical Choice Scarf with Waterfall, Ice Punch, U-Turn, and I believe the fourth move was either Night Slash or Toxic. Then I have my Necrozma with Aya Papa Berry with Substitute SD, Sub SD, Photon Geyser, and Earthquake. And then lastly is my Choice Scarf Buzzwole, designed to outspeed Mega Alakazam, Creeping Koko with Drain Punch, Leech Life, Ice Punch, and Iron Head. Iron Head was mainly here for the Mimikyu, which he did not end up bringing. So you see my opponent decided to bring the Mecha Alakazam, the Circuitry, Drampa, Porygon 2, Heatran, and the Nidoking. And right away I am noticing that he didn't really bring much in terms of resist to my Greninja. Well, we did bring the Porygon 2, but unfortunately for him, my Greninja is physical, and for the most part, every single Pokemon that I brought in this matchup is a physical attacker, so the idea is still try to wear him down offensively between my Greninja, hopefully get some hazard stacking going between my Swampert and my Ferrothorn, and hopefully break with my Necrozma and try to win in the late game with either my Scarf Buzzwole or my Scarf Greninja if I'm able to chip away at his more bulkier Pokemon that he ended up bringing. So without further ado, let us get right into the battle, and before I go any further, I also want to give a quick shout out to Judas, who joins my team, and to Lantern Joe for recording my battle for me. So we're going to be challenged by Pokemon Trainer Ty, as he's going to end up leading off with the Mega Alakazam, nicknamed Porygon 2, trying to throw me off. And I'm just going to lead with my Swampert here because my game plan, like I said, is to just get up my rocks and pressure his team as early as I possibly can here. So I'm going to stay in, obviously, get my rocks up turn 1. If he is packing the Energy Ball, I do have the Rindoberry on my Swampert, so he's going to trace my Damp. He's just going to click Psychic turn 1, get some chip damage off on my Swampert, get a special defense drop, which sucks as I get my rocks up. The special defense drop means that my Swampert won't be able to take the next Psychic from this Mega Alakazam, so I'm going to make the switch out into my Necrozma here on the next Psychic. So I'm going to eat up this hit relatively easily because I am a specially defensive variant of Necrozma. And he's going to reveal the Shadow Ball here. I'm just going to click Earthquake to get some damage off on this thing, because I know I can take 2 Shadow Balls from the range of HP I was at and get into range of my Papa Berry activating, get myself back up to a relative amount of health. And judging by that damage, that this reveals that he is a more bulky. He has some HP investment on this Mega Alakazam, and he's going to go for the Calm Mind here. So I'm just going to Earthquake again. And seeing as though that I'm getting damage off from this Alakazam here to the point where I can knock it out with the next Earthquake, I'm instead going to make the aggressive play and go hard into my Greninja here, because if he clicks Shadow Ball, as he's going to end up doing here, I'm in a fantastic spot because it's +1, Shadow Ball is doing nothing, because I am packing HP and special defense investments, so I'm just going to now outspeed and knock out the Mega Alakazam with the Choice Scarf U-turn. So pretty much the biggest threat I feel to my team has now been neutralized, as I'm going to go back out into my Swampert here to bait in the Circuitry, clicking the Energy Ball. But he's going to pull a double switch here into his Drampa, probably expecting the Rindoberry on my Swampert, but I'm going to go for the Earthquake here because it was a no drawback play as he has no ground immunity. So I'm looking at that damage, I'm thinking it's in range of the next Earthquake as he reveals Berserk on his Drampa, not Sap Sipper. But I'm going to go for the Earthquake here, and we are unfortunately just going to miss out on taking out the Drampa here, as he's going to click Hyper Voice to knock out my Swampert, which turns out to be a high roll on the first Earthquake and a low roll here on the second one, so it kind of balances out. But it does allow me to go back into my Greninja and just claim my kill with the next, with the U-turn here, which is fairly free. I get momentum regardless. It does suck though that I lost my Swampert there because of the fact that Circuitry becomes a little bit more of an issue here. But I'm going to U-turn out into my Tapu Koko because at the very least I can force in his Nidoking like I do here, but I make a little bit of a misplay, not really misplay, but I'm going to make the safe play into my Ferrothorn. But what I should have ended up doing this turn is he's going to end up revealing Substitute, is I should have just clicked Z, because if he was Scarf Nidoking, I could have taken out my my Koko. I could have gone into my Scarf Greninja and just clicked Waterfall because he has no water resist. He can go into Porygon 2, but at the same time, he can assume whatever he wants, but it's whatever. So my Ferrothorn is unfortunately going to take the damage, enough damage to the point where I'm forced to sack it off here because I cannot let him get off another substitute for free. So I'm just going to sack off my Ferrothorn to the following Flamethrower from the Nidoking. So my Ferrothorn goes down here, which does suck, and Circuitry becomes a little bit more of a pain But I am going to go back out into my Tapu Koko here, and I believe I'm just going to click Raw Brave Bird, and not activate my Z move, as he's going to pull the switch out into his, I believe this is Heatran, yeah. So this is his Heat, so yeah, so he Heatrans here, he reveals the air balloon. I'm just going to click Brave Bird, and I believe after this Brave Bird damage on the Heatran, I believe this is in range of where I can then go from the Wild Charge here. Even if he takes me out with the Earth Power, it didn't really matter, but I'm going to end up taking him out instead with the Wild Charge, so that's really cool for me. In comes the Circuitry one more time, and I'm just going to, I believe, go for my Z move here. Or I Wild Charge again because I wanted to preserve the Z move for the Porygon 2. So I Wild Charge here was my strongest move because of terrain. He is going to Thunderbolt, and we're going to end up living on 1 HP, so I'm thinking, okay, I can preserve this in the back. So I'm just going to U-turn here, as we're actually going to knock out the Circuitry with the U-turn, which is great because now I can now go out into my Scarf Buzzwole here and just click, I'm assuming I click Ice Punch here, but at the same time though, this Nidoking's not in range of Drain Punch, so I'm forced to Ice Punch this turn to take out the Nidoking. So Buzzwole gets a kill here, but then I'm looking at it, it's Last Mon Porygon 2, and I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty bad, because the Porygon 2 is going to come in here, it's going to end up tracing my Beast Boost, and I'm thinking, oh wait, if this is Trick Room Porygon 2, I straight up lose here. So I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go hard into my Necrozma, and I gotta hope and pray he's not gonna go for Trick Room here. Luckily, he just clicks Tri-Attack here, doesn't knock out my Necrozma, but it does put me in Aya Papa Berry range. It put me in range for my Aya Papa Berry to activate. I click Substitute here, as he's end up going to reveal the Magic Coat, so my assumptions of Trick Room were further alleviated by the fact that he did not reveal Trick Room, and the fact that he is a magical variant. I'm gonna SD here, because I'm really thinking, I don't think this Porygon 2 can break my sub with Tri-Attack, and if he can't, which he is end up to not do, my Necrozma is going to end up winning the game right here. So first off, it's gonna be a 4-0 win for sure. But I do want to make a quick apology to my opponent, because while it does, like, it doesn't really seem necessary for me to, like, go for sub here again and get to +6, which this is what I end up doing. Like, I didn't need to, but I'm looking at the calcs and I'm like, okay, if this thing is max HP, max defense, +4 Photon Geyser is not going to kill this, Porygon 2, so I have to go to +6, ensure that Photon Geyser is going to kill, and even if it doesn't, I put something in range to where I can just go into whatever I want and revenge kill it. But I'm just going to click the +6 Photon Geyser and pretty much obliterate this Porygon 2, and we're going to pick up the 4-0 win over Ty and his Fox Creek Banettes. So first off, GG to my opponent Ty. That was a really fun, quick-paced game, all things considered. So the main thing was I think the main thing it came down to in the end was the early game, me playing aggressively with my Greninja and going hardcore and on the Alakazam. I thought for a fact if I made that play, he clicked Focus Blast and he blew back my Greninja, I was in a world of hurt, because like I said, the Mega Alakazam was a threat. The Circuitry with my main responses to it weakened or eliminated in Swampert's case was kind of a big issue as well. So I had to play a little bit more aggro in terms of my playstyle after my Swampert went down. I still sort of regret not clicking my Z move against the Nidoking, allowing him to substitute for free. So I could have pretty much preserved my Ferrothorn in that right to have for the Circuitry on the off chance he did not have HP Fire on it. So yeah, a bunch of stuff that could have potentially made us a 5-0 in my assumption. didn't really play out the way I wanted it to, but hey, a 4-0 it's a very solid win, and luckily for me, I do come out on top with the help of Choice Scarf Greninja, and pretty much everyone coming in clutch in some way, shape, or form, whether or not they got kills or whatnot. But I'm gonna give the MVP of this game to Greninja for just being straight up amazing, even though all I just did was click U-turn with my Greninja 2 times during the battle. But nonetheless, though, it did put in a tremendous amount of work. Probably would have won the Tapu Koko had I clicked my Z move on the Nidoking, but it is what it is. We still take those, and more or less, this was a hacks-free battle, so I'm really happy about that as well. So we're going to move to 3-0 on the season, plus 6 differential after this game. So we are going to play him again sometime down the road before the regular season comes to a close, but considering how close Sword and Shield is, it's going to be kind of difficult to see how focused I'm going to be in terms of like having this match done and playing the same way I played in this battle. Plus it also comes down to whether or not I already clinched playoffs or I'm eliminated or something like that. But hey, that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys did enjoy the battle. If you did, I'd encourage you, please leave a like, drop a comment, click that subscribe button, all that good stuff. And that's going to be it from me. And until the next time, this is Tone, signing out for now. Peace out.